I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get two select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we are discussing the third movie in Hallmark's Passport to Love series for June, Villa Amore, which originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, June 21st, and is currently streaming on the Hallmark Plus platform. We'd love for you to follow us on Instagram, keep up with all things Hallmark and Girls Gone Hallmark adjacent. We are Girls Gone Hallmark on Instagram.
Hey, we have a Facebook group, which I saw some piping hot tea got dropped in there this morning.
That's right.
So if you're interested,
Hallmark star related.
Yeah, somebody got married. I didn't know anything about this, did you? Until I saw it in Facebook today.
I only knew it because they also sent it to our DMs.
Oh, well, look at that. Anyway, if you are interested in joining our Girls Gone Hallmark Facebook group, it's Girls Gone Hallmark in Facebook groups. It's easy to find. Come and give us a join.
Tons to talk about this movie over there as well. You can always find our full episode show notes. And if you love Hallmark news and Hallmark adjacent content, check out our website. It's girlsgonehallmark.com. We send out a newsletter every week with some of the latest news and our reviews to keep you up to date. So thank you for heading over there and subscribing for that right at the top of the page.
Yeah, just don't get confused. We are not actually Hallmark.
Correct.
Sending you a newsletter, which we got a funny email
asking us when we were going to put some more Tyler Hines movies on.
Yeah, but good question. I don't know.
You know, a side note, you posted several weeks, maybe a month, I don't remember, a while back, a funny "Where's Tyler Hines" image on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
People got real defensive.
I know they did. Yeah. But you know what's funny is in my notes I just wrote I have a plan brewing for a new one.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait because I just thought it was funny. Like he was all over the network at the end of the year. We haven't seen him. We're not like Tyler doesn't deserve a break. And people were like, I think it's good that he's taking some time away. And I just was like, calm down. We're really cool with him. Take your time, Tyler.
Totally. Yeah, I thought you were maybe referencing the DMs we got about why we didn't make one for other actors on the network.
Oh, yeah, you can't win. You can't win.
Nope, you can't.
The other day, I got mad all over again about the way some people behaved during our Countdown to Christmas bracket this year.
Oh, my God. Yes, go ahead.
I mean, people created fake accounts in order to vote. People got very upset with us at the way the votes went. People unfollowed us when their actor's movie wasn't winning. I just got re-fired up about it. I just thought making a fake account to vote in a absolutely no stakes Instagram contest is a very wild choice of use of time.
Is this the same? Didn't we get threatened to be sued?
That's different. That's different. That was the Way Home related when we did a completely innocuous poll, Team Thomas or Team Elliot. Right. And someone, I don't know who, but one side paid for bots to come vote to make the other side look bad. And when we posted about it, suggesting that the system had been gamed, people then threatened to sue us.
That's right. That's right. Well, you just can't win. Back to the bracket. It's so funny you bring this up because I was just thinking about this over the weekend. And I was like, yeah, that's so fun, but I don't know if I have it in me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I have it in me this year.
50% fun. People really sucked the fun out of it this year. Like, some people love it and they get into it, and I love it when you're posting and sharing and rallying your fandom and your friends for the movies that you loved and the actors. Like, I'm all in on that. But the sour grapes of it all just took the fun out of it for me.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there is a listener out here who's like, no, you can't let it go. I volunteer as tribute and we'll run it for you. Hey, hit us up. girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com. And we just don't know.
That's a volunteer position.
Yes.
Hey, let's hear a synopsis for Villa Amore.
Liara goes to Italy and impulsively buys the villa where her parents met. She soon learns she is way over her head and must ask a lawyer-turned-handyman to help her renovate.
Claire Niederprum directed Villa Amore. Claire has 18 previous directing projects, including The Royal We from earlier this year, as well as Savoring Paris, An American in Austin, her pen pal, and, as luck would have it, hits all.
Totally. The teleplay is by Nick Hopkins, Tim James, and Betsy Morris. The story credit is given to Nick Hopkins, Tim James, Betsy Morris, and Alexander Koskas.
Joanna Garcia Swisher and Kate Gordon serve as executive producers. We recently mentioned that both are also behind the upcoming Hallmark series Providence Falls, which, by the way, I recently checked out all 3 books from my library in hopes of reading them prior to that series dropping.
What is that story about?
It's about time travel for love.
Oh,
based
that's
in
right.
like the 18th century.
I mean, you had me at time travel, and then like the 18th century part comes in, and I'm like, eh.
Mm-hmm. My understanding is they don't spend a whole lot of time there, though. So
Excellent.
We shall see.
I am looking forward to that. I hope it's high quality.
Yeah, me too.
Eloise Mumford stars as Liara. This movie marks her 30th acting project. We last saw her in the 2023 movie Sweeter Than Chocolate. But our favorite Eloise Mumford movie is The Presence of Love, coincidentally directed by Claire Niederprum's husband, McLean Nelson.
Look at that crossover. We didn't mention this. I do feel like since we're in the middle of all this Providence Falls talk, I wanted to point out that Lucy Guest is one of the directors of those movies. So it's going to be good.
Chef's kiss.
Kevin McGarry stars as our charming lawyer-turned-handyman with 40 acting credits to his name. Kevin is best known for his longtime role on When Calls the Heart and for co-starring in last year's A Reason for the Season. Fun fact, just saw him on an episode of Private Eyes from 2016, huh, Wendy?
Yeah, I've been watching Private Eyes.
How many episodes have you watched?
4 or 5 at this point. It's really scratching that Brandon Walsh itch for me.
Uh-huh.
Jason Priestley just moves all the same. I've watched many, I have seen Beverly Hills 90210 many times over the years. It is my favorite show of all time. And, like Jason Priestley as an actor just has very distinctive like mannerisms and the way he acts and whatever. And it just has left an imprint on my brain. So like seeing him in something else feels very familiar and I like it. And Private Eyes is a pretty good show.
I think I'm going to give it a try. I think my husband might like it.
I think so too. And it's a little, I know we didn't do a first impression of it, but it's edgier in terms of Hallmark.
Nice.
So
I think we definitely will do a first impression of it.
I think we should.
Villa Amore was filmed on location in Italy. Let's take a quick break and we are going to come right back with our first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Villa Amore?
Well, Villa Amore may sound like Casa Amore, but there's way less drama, way more pasta, and absolutely no one yelling, I got a 10. next.
For anybody who is not completely obsessed with Love Island, that is a Love Island USA reference right there. I am obsessed with Love Island, as
let
is
me
my
ask you.
husband.
If you saw on our Instagram on Sunday, I did a this or that with Villa Amore or Casa Amore, and there was a small 15% who did choose Casa Amore. So there's some crossover.
Interesting.
I clicked on it. I saw who's watching
I see
Love
you.
Island. You're our people.
You should be listening to our new podcast, Last to the Party.
You should. Hey, Megan, what's your first impression?
Did I Google €1 homes while watching this movie? Yes, I did.
I have some thoughts on that. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Are you thinking about moving to Italy for €1?
No, Reddit tells me it's a bad idea.
Really? Okay, well, let's talk.
Mixed. The reviews are mixed.
Well, I don't really see you as a home renovation kind of gal either.
No, I'm not a get my hands dirty kind of gal. I'm an outsource that shit kind of lady. So I don't. We'll get into it when it's time. We will not be the next DIYers. That's not my vibe.
Think of the social media presence you could make doing that. It's very much along the lines of When Calls the Heart when she like moves to a new town and has no idea how anything works. I mean, I can lean into it. It would be great.
Yeah. I mean, I just need to ditch the kids and the husband first. Like, this only works as like single lady in a new land.
No. First of all, your kids are almost old enough to be on their own.
Sure.
So just give it a couple more years. Save your €1. You could buy multiple places. The second thing is take the husband with you. Like, put him to work. It could be a whole, like, you guys could be a whole thing together.
Uh-huh.
He wants to move anyway, so this is perfect for him.
Not to Italy.
Why not is the question.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You would not want to move to Italy either because one, you hate pasta, and two, you hate cheese. So
I don't hate pasta and I don't hate cheese. It hates me.
But you choose not to eat pasta, don't you?
I don't love a tomato sauce. I'm sure I would love an Italian pasta, not from a jar. I'm sure that would taste delicious.
This is new news to me that you do not like tomato sauce.
It's not my favorite. Every once in a while. But it's like, some people really find comfort in a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it for me.
A bolognese does not do it for you?
Like every once in a while. It's not a comfort food for me. Like someone ordering spaghetti in a restaurant is a real ick for me because to me, spaghetti is not like a food that like I'll order a burger pretty much anywhere, everywhere. I'm not suggesting that I have highbrow tastes. I love a burger. I love a chicken tendy. Let's be very clear. But I don't love a spaghetti.
I'm sad for you.
But I like other kinds of pasta. But as mentioned, it's hard to like Italian food when you can't have dairy.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about what we liked about this movie.
Okay.
Can I start?
Mm-hmm.
Eloise Mumford's entire wardrobe deserves its own movie credit. Yeah. Her touristy outfits were so cute, so adorable. Easily some of the best styling we've seen this year. Chef's kiss. So good.
Yeah, she looked great, but she also looked like someone who was traveling and not like someone with an endless closet of beautiful travel-ready Instagrammable dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like, yeah, this is what I packed and I'm making it work.
Well, and I love that it was kind of even folded into the storyline where the neighbor gives her some stuff to wear.
Yeah.
Because, of course, she didn't pack stuff to do home renovation in.
Well, yeah, and she had the neighbor even included that sweet dress, so she was able to dress up when she went on her date. And I love that moment where she kind of hugs that dress to herself, where she's like, "Oh, I get something new."
Yeah, so I thought the wardrobe was so good, so good, so good. Do you want me to continue?
Sure.
Cinematography in this movie, beautiful. From pastries to the rolling hills. They were shot in like this dreamy golden light. I just thought everything looked so pretty, like top to bottom pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It made me want to go to Italy. I mean, good job on Hallmark. Their passport to love. They're really selling Barcelona and Italy to me.
Yeah, they should really be collaborating with these tourism boards if they're not.
Shouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Good idea. Somebody hire Megan. I'm going to let you go because I have a big list.
Yeah, me too. A couple of mine, look, speaking of beauty, I thought the setting itself was absolutely gorgeous. I loved the transformation of the villa, and I liked that they didn't make the transformation process overly hijinksy. It had its roadblocks, it had its stumbling points, but it wasn't like we were watching a Hallmark version of The Money Pit, which I really liked. Speaking of natural and believable, the evolution of the relationship between Liara and Leo was really well handled.
Totally.
Could totally believe from the moment they met to their continued interactions, how they would start to have these feelings for each other. And on that note, I like that the conflict is fully based around factors that are kind of out of her control. She doesn't live there. She doesn't have a citizenship. She has to leave. So there's this natural piece pulling them apart, and there's not some sort of manufactured conflict.
Yeah.
Really loved that.
To piggyback into the natural evolution of Leo and Liara's relationship, I really liked and noticed and appreciated the realistic pacing of their kisses throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. They were intimate in terms limited to kissing that we saw, but very natural.
Yeah, I agree. And at the end of their first date, I even rewound it. I was like, wait, did I miss that they kissed? He kind of just touches her face and leaves. And you can tell that something is brewing there, but they don't kiss. I loved that a lot.
Yeah, me too. I really love that because I thought Kevin McGarry as Leo there were these scenes in that scene you were just talking about where it was a slow burn, but not slow enough that it was okay, now we're dragging this out to this big, ending. I really liked that. When he was confirming with her, oh, things are over with Kyle. Okay, does that mean now that I can have feelings for you? Or does that mean now that I can kiss you? I just thought that was something very nice about that.
Yeah, it was just enough to let us know that they're both aware that the other is interested.
Right. And let me talk about Kevin McGarry for a minute. We don't see him in a ton of stuff because we don't watch When Calls the Heart.
Yeah.
And he's sprinkled in one maybe Christmas movie a year, if that. The last time I remember a huge presence was when he was in the Wedding Bell trilogies.
Yeah.
Right? Wait a minute. Was he in that? He was last year. He was in that hockey movie, right? No, that's
2 years ago.
Woof. Anyway, that's what I mean. He's in one rando Christmas movie a year. Look, I really liked him in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is super believable that he would be this dude, this American living in this, American with dual citizenship, living in this Italian countryside.
Oh, I totally
believed
agree.
it.
I totally agree. Speaking of believable, loved the supporting characters that they built into this movie. The men who built her shower, I loved their bickering and their back and forth and their joy for ultimately building the shower of her dreams. Her neighbors, Mia, loved them. Enzo, as well as Leo's grandmother, the hotel concierge. We just had this really great cast of supporting characters who played their roles to perfection. They were supporting in the best way. We knew just enough about them.
Yeah, agree. And I really liked that there was a little bit of hesitation to fully embrace Liara as this American coming to renovate this villa. Not from everybody, but from the lady at the post office and his grandma a little bit. And, that felt super realistic, I thought. But it didn't lean into this hard line of she was an enemy.
Yeah, they didn't want someone coming in and changing their way of life. They were slow to accept her, and she earned their trust and their respect. I loved it.
Right. One last thing two more things I really liked. One moment when Liara falls off the ladder.
Yeah, that's a good
and
fall.
he sees her, right? And like she's crashing out basically, and he like swoops her up in his arms and he's walking out towards the gate. He kicks the gate open. I was like, this is giving me the notebook vibes. Like, it made something swell inside me. I really, really liked that scene. But what I really liked more was they have this whole conversation afterwards about her struggles with panic attacks, his struggles with panic attacks. And I was like, okay, Hallmark, I love this. Is surprisingly thoughtful. And this conversation totally works.
I totally agree. I loved that breakdown scene. She's tired. She's frustrated. She wants a hot shower. She really misses her dad. I mean, like, it all is bubbling out. And I thought that, like, her crying, so good.
It was good. The very last thing I really liked, and this piggybacks off of the last two movies we talked about, I appreciate that we got another nod to a woman over 40 finding love. And this movie even has the line, it says, "It's never too late to be swept off your feet." I felt like this was sweet, sweet reinforcement of that message that women over a certain age can have fun and playful and find love.
Love that. I have two little likes. I really appreciated the humor that was infused into this movie with the hotel concierge. They're rapid fire trying to clean up her honeymoon suite, just popping the balloons, laughed out loud.
Yeah.
I really appreciated when her fiance shows up and she's not even tempted to go back to him. She walks away with him, sends him on his way, tells him to go pound sand. And I loved the way Leo was like, oh, the fiance, the one who left her at the altar, the one who cost her dream home. Amazing. Finally, I loved Bocce. I loved Bocce the donkey.
I did too. And I didn't know donkeys look like that. I don't think I've ever seen a donkey in real life, like in person.
What did you think a donkey looks like?
Gray?
Oh,
I don't know. This one just looked like fluffy and like I have a friend right now who is on some sort of vacation, and her family went to like some sort of farm where they could cuddle cows, and I was like, wait a minute,
like Highland cows?
I don't know. A cow. They were brown cows. Is that a Highland cow?
Are they like real long haired and fluffy looking?
I didn't look that closely, but I was like, can I hug that donkey?
Yeah. Can I pet that dog? Yeah.
Yeah, I was into the donkey too. And I was like, of course, why would they 86 the donkey? I think that is so charming to have this donkey on the property if it was an Airbnb or a bed and breakfast, whatever.
Probably a liability, but I know as soon as she said we got to 86 the donkey, she was out. Loved it.
Yeah.
Let's talk wishes.
Why didn't Liara take her mom to Italy in the first place on her honeymoon?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Yeah.
I don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it, but I think she should have said, hey, Mom, do you want to go on this trip with me?
Well, I also didn't really understand why she waited so long to bring her mom out to the villa. I understand initially she was like, no, it's in terrible condition. But by the time she left, it was in serviceable condition. She should have had her mom come out before she was about to be booted out of the country.
Yeah, because what if she didn't get to go back?
Yes.
And then her mom never saw it?
Yes.
Because, and here's my next point, is she purchases the villa as a symbolic gesture for her mom. So it would make sense that her mom would come out and see it before she has to leave the country.
I mean,
right?
I know it makes a more impactful movie for her to come back after everything is resolved. I get that. Like, they get to close the movie on her coming to see it, and that's great, and I love it. But I think practically, if I were the daughter, I'd be like, you got to get out here. Like, my time is up in a week. You need to come see it before, I don't know if my residency's coming through.
Right. And way to make me anxious with the countdown for her.
I know. Speaking of, I don't actually believe that ever practical Liara wouldn't read the contract, wouldn't find someone to read this contract, wouldn't at least say the words to Enzo, what's the catch? Like, I understand she's pushing back because her fiance was like, you never do anything impulsive. And she's like, watch me. But even then, she's smart enough to know that there's going to be something involved with this €1 home. There's going to be some sort of requirement.
Yes, this part strained logic a little too
Yes.
far for me.
There's
because
no way.
She even says, I'm a data analyst. Like, you didn't Google any details of this before just throwing everything out the window and being like, okay, great, I own this place. What?
I know. It's one thing that Enzo didn't tell her, but it's an entirely different thing that she didn't even ask. So I just found it very hard to believe that she would be that impulsive. And that Kevin McGarry had to be like, oh, by the way, you got 90 days to get started and you got 90 days to get the heck out of the country. Nobody's telling her these things. Come on.
Yeah. I agree. Now, Netflix when was it? It was earlier this year. Netflix has a movie called La Dolce Villa, which is kind of based on the same scenario where somebody buys a villa for €1 and then they renovate it. And I'm just like, this feels like we've done this before with this movie. I mean, it's a different storyline because that Netflix movie is more about like a father-daughter situation with than like a romantic line for the father. It's just funny to me about the villa for €1. I need to know more about your own Googling about this.
Well, these do exist. According to Reddit, which is my source for all things, some people suggested, like, well, it's kind of a cool idea. However, you're not going to get residency the way she did. Like, they're suggesting if you are not a resident of the European Union, you're not going to get Italian residency in order to continue this. And that this particular case, the location was beautiful. It was in a town, well, small, and then the location obviously needed some renovation. The town itself still was thriving, even though it was small. They're suggesting that a lot of these are in places where the towns themselves are really struggling. And of course, they do it to infuse life back into the town. But sometimes they need way more than just, like, we're talking places that don't have electricity, that don't have running water, perhaps don't have medical facilities nearby. Like, there's a reason why people aren't living in these places. So simply revitalizing some of the homes isn't going to be enough. And then also, we're coming at it from the perspective of an American who, like, we can get online and order everything we need. When you're in a small Italian town, finding the people to do the work, finding the materials, it's a lot more effort than it might appear.
Yeah, she really would have been up Schitt's Creek if she didn't meet Leo.
100%.
He was the brawn, not really the brawn, but like the access to all of the things she needed.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I only have one more wish.
Okay.
I get why they do it, but man, Kyle was the biggest douchebag ever.
Yeah.
You breaking up with your girl in like a realtor's office?
I know. I just don't really believe that people like this exist. Like, the day before your wedding, as you're signing papers to buy a house, you show up and you're like, actually, I'm going to go to Thailand and find myself. Are there people that are this terrible?
There's gotta be, right?
Yes.
That's awful. And then he shows up in Italy and he's like, hey, I'm good now. We're good to go. She's like, I'm done. I'm
I'm glad that there wasn't even a moment's hesitation.
Yeah. I mean, I really appreciate that we get, a Hallmark movie, but it doesn't fall victim to those sort of old storytelling tactics. Yeah. Do you have any more wishes?
No, let's talk. Did you see that?
Okay. I have a few. One that made me laugh out loud when Leo's cousin tells him your accent is still so bad. And I laughed because Kevin McGarry he used that Boston accent in The Wedding Bell and kind of got trolled for it a little bit.
That is absolutely my number one. Did you see that?
For real?
I feel like it has
You
to
think
be
they did it on
intentional.
purpose?
Like the throwback to his terrible Boston accent. Is my accent really that bad? Come on, has to be.
It had to be. I thought it was very funny. Very, very funny. I also love that Leo was a Harvard law grad, and I was low-key hoping that was a dig to, life happening around us right now.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sure it wasn't, but I liked it. I liked it. Did you see when Liara was chopping carrots and she was making a soup for her neighbor, and a piece of carrot like fully hit the floor, and then Kevin McGarry comes in and like kind of, he doesn't kick it on purpose, but like he runs into the piece on the floor.
I did not. I love that.
That's a true. Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
And I have one more. And please hear me. I'm not dogging on anybody here in this moment, but when Kyle shows up to Italy, and it's a great scene when Leo is kind of like letting him have it, like, oh, this is the guy, whatever. Kevin McGarry has a clear, like, spray on hairline. Look, I know makeup departments, they do this. They make your hair look fuller. Like, believe me, I know. But the hairline looked really noticeable.
Oh,
that it was like a straight, like you could see like the spray.
I did not notice the spray.
That is what I got. You have anything else?
Just one more. I mean, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but I appreciated they used a very classic anxiety trick in here, counting 5 things you can see. It extends to, count 5 things you can hear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is a trick I have used myself. I loved it. I loved that he did it. I love that he passed it along to Liara. It's a great trick if you ever find yourself like panicking or your anxiety spiking. Just look around. It actually helps. That and jumping jacks, y'all.
Oof.
Yeah, because
I guess I'm going to count 5 things because I am not doing a jumping jack.
Anxiety talk with Megan and Wendy. What did you rate Villa Amore?
This is going to seem low. I gave it 3.75 stars.
I gave it 4.25 stars.
Okay, so can we talk about it for a second?
That's lower than your Barcelona ratings.
I liked Barcelona. I liked Barcelona more than this movie.
Really?
I like more calm in my rom-com. I thought this was a fine movie. It was a good story. It was beautiful to look at. But that's where it stops for me. Like, I wasn't like in love with it. Now, I know a lot of people really love this movie, and that's great because this is a movie that does something for them. I thought it was very nice. It's just not like my kind of movie.
Gotcha. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, or if you just like it a lot, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can leave them in whatever podcast app you're listening to. But y'all, if you're an iPhone user, we'd love a 5-star rating and a written review in the Apple Podcast app. It's the purple one if you're using a different app to listen. We'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.